Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
We're live at Feldman Chevrolet.
Behave yourself.
In Novi. Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Welcome. I hope everybody had a great New Year's.
Did you catch any football this weekend?
Okay. My name is Neal Ruhl. This guy's Darren McCarty.
And I'm wearing a red hat.
Okay. Hi. Happy New Year, everybody. Alex Westfall's here. Sam Flannel's here.
Showed up.
Did you guys see that Michigan basketball game on Sunday? Oh my God! They in their conference home opener, 81-46 against Maryland. Hunter Dickinson, 32-12. Are you kidding me? Wait, are we going to talk about that? That was the biggest game of the weekend for sure.
Okay. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet. We're in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. Happy to be here with you guys. Hope everybody had a great New Year's celebration. And Terry Foster, Darren McCarty. Hey, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Get it in. Let's talk. WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Rad Dad Scott. Neal trolling without saying a word.
Hey, Neal, how'd you do?
Is that what you're doing?
Pick?
Oh, the get right pick. That's right. I picked Michigan because I was told by J.J. McCarthy that, quote, the Big Ten was going to take over the Big 12, right? That's what I was told. Smash the Big 12.
Bust 'em up.
That's what I was told.
What happened? Not so much, right?
Not so much. And, hey, we're going to get into it. Certainly Detroit Lions as well. A big football weekend. And just like Friday, we talked all football. Today, we're talking all football, by the way. We are. We're doing it. And we will get into all of it. Silent Service says Sam is alive. Yes. And look, before we get going into all this, full credit to Sam Flannel. He took his medicine on the text. He took his medicine on Twitter. He's taking his medicine now. You are here. So before we get into this, and before Sam Flannel physically cracks the way that every single Michigan person ever has cracked at some point this weekend, be it the refs, be it conspiracy theories against Michigan. Tell me, Sam, why does the NCAA hate Michigan?
They don't hate Michigan. That was honestly, guys, you can't throw 2 pick sixes and have 2 empty possessions inside the TCU 3-yard line and win a game. They did not deserve to win that game. And I know a lot of people are going to talk about the refs and the Roman Wilson call, which I do think was a bad call, but here's a good idea, guys. When it's 1st and goal from the inch line, maybe don't give the ball to a freaking linebacker masquerading as a running back on a quick handoff. Maybe don't do that. Maybe give it to Donovan Edwards and go behind that Joe Moore a winning offensive line, or maybe quarterback sneak it with J.J. McCarthy. When you make all of those mistakes, when you have all those self-inflicted wounds, you don't deserve to win a football game, and that's just the reality of the situation. It was the biggest missed opportunity in the history of the Michigan football program, and that's why it hurts so bad. They had a golden opportunity to go win a national championship, change the paradigm of their program, and now all they did was prove that they are who they've always been. They're Big Ten good, but when it comes to the national stage, they almost always crap the bed. It's just the reality. Look at their history.
They always crap the bed.
Well, 1997.
They always crap the bed.
97
they always
happened, but you know what? I'm not even going to argue that. I'm not even going to split hairs. They always
and look, guys, here's what we're saving right now. And I wanted to build up to this, and I did, but you guys didn't leave me a choice because here we are. Jim 3. Sucks Michigan lost, only saving grace is so did Ohio State. This is why you guys lose all the time. This is why you lose. Who cares? All the chips were in the middle of the table. You crapped out. You lost. You lost to TCU. TCU's a better program than Michigan. Now, TCU's been the same program as Michigan for 2 decades now, except they win bowl games, and they've won a Rose Bowl, and they win games in the college football playoff. You guys are just regular. That's it. You're not special. Every time it's all on the line, you lose. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about refs. I don't want to hear about any about it. Your quarterback goes up there and says, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. He throws 2 pick sixes. He plays very mid. We're done. We're done with that, guys. Okay?
Well, I think to your point, Neal, is that when Sam says, oh, thank God Ohio State lost because then it makes your win relevant, you don't get the point. That's not winning. To me, the biggest thing, right, that I thought would improve over the season but was the glaring was the red zone deficiency by Michigan all year round. It seemed that they could get it inside the 10-yard line and had to settle for field goals all year, except now, Neal, they settle for turnovers. That just doesn't do it. It's at the biggest stage. You're trying to make that next step. That doesn't cut it. And to your
how does
point,
a Division I team in the red zone turn into Northwood? I mean, why does that happen? I can't figure that one out.
My guess would be coaching. My guess would be coaches that are on the biggest stage with all the chips in the middle of the table, everything that's on the line. It changed, and it changed them, and it changed what they do. Either you define the moment or the moment defines you. That's it. That's it. That's all. And you can't defend this, guys. You can't defend it. You can't refute it. You're not good enough. I'm sorry if that bothers you. How much more data do you need? You got a coach that's 1-6 in Rose Bowls. What else do you need to hear? I know it hurts. And look, you guys want to get, people came at me on social media and stuff like that, and that's fine. I'm here for you. I'm your friend. I'm Sam Flannel's friend. I'll be a shoulder to cry on. And if projecting on me and lashing out at me makes you feel better, I'm here for it. I'll do it for you because I'm a friend. And that's what friends do for each other. So go ahead. But when all that's over, you still never win when it matters most. You don't. And I told you guys this in July, and mark me here, guys. I said this in July. I said it in September. I said it last month. Your schedule puts you in the playoffs no matter what.
But you see how it can be your Achilles heel because you don't play anybody.
Yep. But then you're on your own once you get there, and you don't control it, and you don't get to play every game at home. You lose the control of the matchup. And Sam Flannel, when we made a path, now I was told Michigan was going to crush them, so I made Michigan the get right pick. Right? That's all. That's all.
Yeah,
I was
that's
told.
what you did. You had to follow what the people said. But you know what? This is nothing new. This has been going on since the 70s. When Michigan played USC in the Rose Bowl in 70 what? Oh, they're going to beat them, and it's going to be not even going to be a problem. Then after they lost, I heard, well, USC is like a home game. Then they play Washington, and they lose to them. They lost to Stanford. And there was always excuses. And there's no way Michigan can lose this game. But they found a way. And you know what happens 90% of the time? Their fans blame the refs.
And you have a column up on woodwardsports.com that Terry Foster penned. Give everybody the crux of that, because that was all I saw. And, Terry, that permeated onto the field. You're watching plays. You're seeing Michigan players asking for flag. Like, every play, they want somebody. You always want to be saved all the time. You always want the easy way out. You always want to be saved. How about one time? How about you guys go take it? Once. But no, that's the hard way. That's not the Michigan way. Just schedule 9 games at home next year, 10 games at home, 12 games at home. Do it.
I got a question. Can we use the SOM tag? Same old Michigan? Because I'll tell you one thing. There's 2 football teams, one professional and one college that we saw play that are on 2 different trajectories to figuring out who they are. Right? We saw that with the Lions, and we'll talk about them. But that's the one thing. With the same old Michigan, right, Terry? 50 years. You said since the 70s. So we always say same old Lions.
Maybe it's SOW. Same old Wolverines.
Yeah,
same
whatever
old
you want.
Wolverines.
Are you comfortable with that, with the new mantra, same old Michigan? Because that's what it has been for over 2 decades.
Yeah, I have no choice. I have to take a lot of medicine. This is, like I said before, the biggest missed opportunity in the history of Michigan football. They had no business losing to this TCU team, and this is no disrespect to them. Michigan was the inferior team. They was the superior team. They were heavily favored. And the one thing that I said, the pathway to TCU winning this game is if Michigan kind of turns the football over, plays undisciplined, has self-inflicted wounds. I think 2 pick sixes are 2 self-inflicted wounds.
And
I think
play calling was a self-inflicted wound.
Yes. Getting the ball inside the TCU 3-yard line twice and coming up with 0 points, that is self-inflicted. How about every time they get the game to within 1 score, TCU drives right down the field? It was just Michigan scored 45 points. TCU's best running back, Kendre Miller, got injured in the first half. Max Duggan completed less than 50% of his passes and threw 2 interceptions, and Michigan still lost. It's honestly, I still have open wounds on my flesh from that game. This one is going to sting for months. Months. Maybe the rest of my life, honestly. Michigan could have won a natty, and they blew it.
And they absolutely did blow it. And that's it. There is no, well, Ohio State won, or my other favorite that you got from people, what did Michigan State do? What does that matter? You played for everything, and you lost. Again, everything on the line, and you did what same old Michigan does. You lost.
But can I at least agree that MSU fans should be quiet when they don't even go to a bowl game and are 5-7?
No, because they don't enter into the conversation.
Okay,
they're not in those waters.
But that's a knock against
you
them.
guys just bring that up on your own. What did Michigan State do?
Well, they didn't go to a bowl game. I will just say that.
What does it matter?
All right, and let me say the same thing. Y'all did the same thing Spartans did. When Spartans went to the semifinal game and got blown out, Michigan people just laughed their asses off. You weren't in it, so it's the same thing.
It's not quite. Michigan won 10 games that year. I mean,
I didn't go to the playoff.
That's fair, and I wasn't one of those people that knocked on Michigan State for getting there and losing. I'm happy they did lose, but at least they got there. But this was not one of those, it's good. Michigan wasn't supposed to be happy to be there. Last year, you could maybe claim that was the case. They lost to one of the greatest college defenses of all time. But this year, they lost to TCU. TCU had never, the Big 12 Conference as a whole had never won a college football playoff game.
Till they got to play Michigan.
Same old Michigan. God.
You see it setting. You see it setting in on them, D-Mac.
Because Sam Flannel with new information will be able to change his opinion, and his biggest weakness is his common sense. Right, is the fact that he will own up to it. But yeah, it's setting in. I just don't know if it's going to be SOM or SOW, but it's one of those.
But we'll decide.
I like some.
Westy, let's do that. Let the people determine the marketing. Same old Wolverines or same old Michigan? Which one are we going to go with officially? Because that's tried and true. Because the Detroit Lions on the other side, they did what they were asked.
Yep.
They came out and they dominated. The Chicago Bears ran 2 plays from the 9:20 mark of the second quarter to about the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. That was the most dominating performance I've ever seen by the Lions.
The Bears got choked out.
They got taken to the mat and choked out.
And they came out hard. They
did.
came out hard, but when we forced that fumble and folded Fields up, you could tell that you give them a reason to quit. That's what the Lions did. They went out there and they punched him in the mouth, just like they got punched in the mouth the week before. But yes, was that 2 absolute polar opposites of game calling from the Lions coaching staff, offense and defense, to the Michigan? Because I think that it was brought up great in the woodwardsports.com chat thread, is that the offensive calling was awful, but how about the defensive calling? The blitz, they couldn't get home. They couldn't figure it out. I know they had 2 picks and stuff like that, but it was too little too late. Especially when your quarterback's giving up pick sixes.
And Max Duggan, we can get into it. Every time Michigan tried to dial up a blitz, he would throw it where the blitz came from. It was masterful, Sam Flannel. It was masterful. Yeah.
Masterful.
Yes,
that wasn't
it was.
Masterful.
Yes, it was.
He made a couple of throws.
Pounded Michigan.
They did.
At the point of attack. 265 yards rushing by little old Big 12 TCU, where all they can do is just run around and they don't play defense.
Aren't you, is anybody else just not sitting here with what we hear, what we're told all the time, the best offensive line in college football or the Big Ten and all this, that, and then you can't, when it matters the most.
Well,
you got it down there.
You're actually playing somebody. Last year they won the award. Then they play Georgia and they get mollywopped. This year, they play the Big Ten and they appear to be the best offensive line in the nation. Then they play TCU with their 150-pound defensive tackles. They can't do anything.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jojo Rofo. Harbaugh was training for that Denver Broncos job. We'll ask Sam Flannel about that, too. Cody Engel. Michigan gave up 264 yards of rushing. 100% they did. What else do we have on here? Jeremy Anderson, some of the dumbest play calling I've ever seen. Todd Farkman, Harbaugh's 0-6 in bowl games the last 6 years.
Yep.
That's your coach. TCU's won, I think, like 12 or 13 bowl games since the turn of the century.
And first year, Sonny Dykes, too. I mean, hats off. Got those boys playing.
It was lucky.
Oh.
It was. Yeah, that's what I was told.
Yeah, it was lucky. The refs, right?
Yeah.
The refs.
Todd say, Neal feeling bad for Wolverine fans. I see. No, Todd, when you play for these stakes, this is the game. There is no second place. There is no, we won the Big Ten. There is no, what did Michigan State do? No, you had your shot. You lost.
You know what it's like? It's like poker, right? You're playing you turn on YouTube or all these TV and you see these big games and they're playing poker for $100,000. Well, in poker, right, they're playing like 100, 200 no-limit blinds. This is the real deal. This ain't 1-2.
No.
You can't just lose 200. You're not down in your little conference game. This is everything. The bright lights is shining. And this is the best.
Do you remember that time when you guys lost to the Devils in the Stanley Cup championship and you just stood up there and you thought, well, we won the President's Cup, so that's a pretty good season.
You know what I say about that when I do my stand up and I'm going through that story is that I say, and 93 win the President's Cup, loses San Jose, get to the finals and stuff like that, and people start cheering President's Cup. I'm like, no, that's not winning. We don't cheer President's Cups. It's great.
Well, Michigan fans do all the time. Let me tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Red Wings. They've combined all three of their delicious flavors into the 6-pack sampler box with the Red Wings theme, by the way. Try Cintron's great-tasting cranberry, classic and sugar-free, all-in-one Red Wings-themed package. Order it today. Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Our guy Kyle here, he's down over 38 pounds now with Custom Health Centers. Our Ryan Ermanni, he's down over 15 pounds. They have over 20,000 success stories. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health. Start your journey today. 844-789-8446. Again, that's 844-789-THIN. Custom Health Centers. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet here in Novi. New year. Feldman Chevrolet, though, Still the same dealership, the number one Chevrolet dealership in the state of Michigan. That's fact, not opinion. And happy to be back with you here. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel showed up. And we have Alex Westfall, Westy, Alex Westfall as well. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Cody Ingletary says, Ryan and Braylon going to be crying all show about the refs. Make sure the studio is stocked with tissues.
Oh, no, they're not.
Oh, they're not?
Final Word's not showing up today.
Really?
Yeah. Braylon flew out to L.A. to see Michigan play Georgia.
Oh, in the national championship game. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Oh, my God. They're not showing up. And Ryan is like, I'm not facing music by myself. So I think they're both at the
At the
Rose
airport?
Bowl. Uh-huh.
They're both at the airport right now?
They're not coming back.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay, that is unfortunate, Darren McCarty. That's a great way to put it. I'm glad you're here for some levity.
Yeah, I would love to hear the final word today talking about the refs.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Are we going with same old Michigan or same old Wolverines? That's up on the chat poll right now. 53% of you say same old Wolverines. So where do you lean, Sam Flannel?
I'm going to go same old Wolverines because Michigan is such an all-encompassing. When you talk about Michigan, you could mean the state. Wolverines, everybody knows what you're talking about. But unfortunately, the whole same old Wolverines thing, it's accurate.
It's proven.
They could have vanquished all of that, but they didn't. They couldn't rise up.
So now I think it's going to be
you reap what you sow.
They do every single year. And guys, look, too, like, I'll give it to you now, here in January. Take a peep at that schedule next year. They'll be back again. And guess what'll probably happen?
What else can I think is going to happen? They had their golden opportunity. They had their game where they were the favorite. They had the game where they didn't have to face the mighty SEC or a historic team. They were playing TCU, which, with all due respect, they were 5-7 last year. They came into the season projected to finish 7th in the Big 12. And obviously they had a good year. They have a good quarterback. They have a good running back. They have an all-world wide receiver. But with all that being said, Michigan had to win this game. They should have won this game. If they played clean, they would have won that game. But they didn't. I hope this game haunts all of the Michigan players and coaching staff for the next year because it was such a missed golden opportunity. It was such a disappointment and such a bummer. I still cannot believe what I watched on Saturday.
Well, Michigan didn't play clean, but you can't just say, well, they didn't play clean, so they screwed up. A lot of times you don't play clean in football because the opposition forces you into mistakes.
Right.
The opposition gets inside of your head. Like I'm convinced they gave the ball to the linebacker because Harbaugh was convinced I can't get up here, give it to Edwards and score. So they were in his head, and he called a stupid play.
Let me ask D-Mac this because you have perspective. Played for great coaches. Did they change what they were in the biggest moments? Did you guys change what you did?
No.
Look, he's like he's shocked to ask that question.
Like it's almost like, the disappointment, especially since first run of the game where Edwards breaks it off. You'd think that they just pound the run, especially down in the red zone, and take the will away. But it's almost sometimes the great coaches, Neal, don't outthink themselves. Right? Their game plan might not work, but they go down with it. Like Scotty Bowman, greatest coach, psychologist of all time, what he had the inept ability to do is these things weren't going right, and you realize later on that you played and practiced with different lines, and Terry can attribute it to this because we used to remember all the colors we used to have, the different lines, and then you wouldn't know who's playing with who in different lines because in practice you would all skate together. So in the game when Scotty got mad, what good coaches does, if things weren't working, they make adjustments, throw 3 guys out there. Now he's the greatest of all time because it usually ended up in being a goal. And he'd sit back there and chomp his ice like he was the smartest. So They stick to their game plan and go down with it. I think that's the frustrating thing. Is that wasn't the typical Jim Harbaugh game plan to beat. He either got too smart for himself or tried things that really we hadn't seen him do in the past.
Giovanni Mashiri says soft schedules make soft teams. And look,
I tend to agree.
And that's a guy that played professional sports, obviously. Terry, what about that? And the nature of the way their whole season went, where Sam Flannel and I had a running joke. every game it's 10-7
Yeah.
in the second quarter, except for that game.
Yeah, it was worse.
It was
Hell of a lot
21-6
worse.
in that
Hell
one.
of a lot worse.
You can't continue to fly into the sun every single week. You get away with it when you're playing Illinois or Rutgers or Indiana or UConn or Colorado State or Hawaii or Purdue or all the teams you played this year. You can get away with it then.
Yeah, but when you play a real team, you better be up or you better be dominating, or at the very least, you should show the world things that make you supposedly the greatest or one of the greatest in college football. Now, here's what I was told. They're just going to line up, hand the football, and just beat the snot out of TCU.
That's what I was told.
That's what I was told.
After the first play, you saw TCU like, oh, okay, this is tough. We can play big boy football too. And they got their little gimmicky 3-3-3-3-3-5 defense.
That J.J. McCarthy mocked.
Right. And it shut them down. Well, it didn't shut them down, but they didn't allow them to prosper through their bread and butter.
Other than that big run at the beginning, Donovan Edwards pretty much was held in check. That was the thing that was so baffling about this game, that TCU actually out-physicaled Michigan. They won in the trenches, which was something that I didn't think was possible in any way, shape, or form, but it happened. I guess they're not a soft Big 12 team. I guess they can play some defense. I guess they can punch you in the mouth.
Can we admit that the pace of the game, you felt it watching that game.
It bothered Michigan.
TCU turned it up and turned it up. No huddles, running to the line. After a generic 2-yard run up to the line, play. They looked out of their comfort zone, Michigan.
Isn't that what TCU, like we're talking about schedules and stuff like that, and you look at all the points, TCU, we said this before, has to be in a track meet. They turned that into a track meet. They dictated that game.
In their conference.
They knew they had to get 50 points. They weren't worried about giving up 45. They weren't worried about this or that. They just wanted to win. That's why Max Duggan and Sam gives him no credit because of his stat line, but I watched that game, and he was the dominant quarterback dictating. Like, they're comfortable in those shootouts.
Because in their conference, they play
They have to put on
14
more points.
teams in terms of plays per game. They go.
So they were prepared. Their schedule, maybe it was softer like the teams, but the way that those teams play, I mean, anybody who watched the K-State TCU fought, right? Hard hitting, whatever, but it was back and forth who was going to score last. That's what that conference is all about, and they showed it, and they dictated it, and they did everything that we were told Michigan was going to do in that game.
And Terry, Alabama can sling it too. You know what I'm saying? They can sling it. That's the thing, and that's the pathway. When we talked with Sam Flannel, that was the pathway for TCU to win. Make it a Big 12 game.
And they did. Now, here's what I'm going to change my Saturday afternoons. When Michigan State are not playing, instead of watching boring-ass Illinois against Purdue, I'm going to be watching Baylor and
Texas
Tech. Right.
Let's go, Terry.
Let's do it.
Right. Yeah, some entertaining football. WoodwardSports.com chat. We're going to get into the Detroit Lions in just a couple of seconds. Messages here on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Miki, been waiting for this show all day. Get ready for the tears. I will give our audience credit. I'm not getting a ton of that on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. So props to you guys. DNCENT. I don't want to be back to the playoff unless we are the most dominant team in the country and we are undeniable. For what? To get embarrassed again? That's what it is. Stephen Wright. Yo, Harry, that hat is clean. Did you get it from Henry the Hatter?
I did.
There you go.
You know what it is, though, Neal?
I can't remember.
Look at the way that the week, right? Because right now, and you say with the chapter, but everybody from the Michigan loss, right? But then the Ohio State losing gave the fandom a little bit more reprieve, and then we're all Lions fans. And we're all Lions fans for the most part. So what they did totally took the heat off, and I think everybody had a couple days. I mean, if we did this show yesterday, I think there'd be more of what we saw on Sam Flannel's Twitter. I actually requested a breakout of Sam's Twitter because I wanted to follow it from 3 p.m. before the Michigan game until last night. But it's just Sam Reynolds, by the way, on Twitter if you want to find it. But to me, I think so it eased the blow, right? You know what I'm saying? The last few days.
Who cares about Ohio State? Screw them.
No, but I get it, Terry, but I'm breaking down the Michigan mentality like Sam said. He said it himself. Thank God they lost because then our win is relevant now. Like that, and that's a loser mentality.
I still want to beat
That's
Ohio
not winning,
State.
Sam.
I understand it's not winning at the highest level, but still the fact that they went into Columbus, it now wasn't completely nullified because Ohio State went just as far as Michigan.
We'll talk about that later. We have to talk about a team that actually delivered this weekend.
Hey, and I'm happy as hell about that.
When we come back, we have to talk about a team that actually delivered. Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Pure Montana. There's 3 R words up here. And then he follows that up with a Big 12 is weak. Okay, Pure Montana. Great take. Lobster rolls, those are a great take.
Yes. Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. Check out their food trucks rolling around the city offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and more. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com and search locations to find the Detroit schedule or download the app to order ahead and earn points. It's Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind, whether you're enjoying business, personal, whatever it is, just like us here at Big D Energy. So if you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Network family, you can be, but I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
You know what? Guardian Alarm was there for Sam Flannel and strict flannel protection, even though he had a very, very bad Saturday night. How many straight days of flannel protection?
188.
188 straight days of flannel protection. Guardian Alarm, they can protect whatever you need protected to, but you got to call them 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Jim Harbaugh Bullwins, they stay out on their own.
They do.
No, they do.
Stay
Guardian
out
Alarm,
of
your local
Michigan's final
security
word.
experts selling Big D Energy. We sent you.
Oh, back out of here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. Goated on the sticks in terms of Chevrolet dealers, as my son would say. New year, pull on through, see what they got popping here. They have cars on the lot. That's a lot different than a lot of the car dealerships out there. They'll get you financed also, so sit down, talk with our people in here. Get it done. New year, get a new car. Why not? Hey, you're trying to run away from a memory or something? Say like something bad happened to you on New Year's Eve? Come in here and get a new car. That'll help take your mind off of it, and you'll forget everything that happened on New Year's Eve.
Hey, you know what? I think I saw the final words sitting in the car out there.
Driving away?
They go, doot, doot. They're gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to Sam Flannel, though, for showing up. WoodwardSports.com chapter. We do have to talk about the Lions, certainly, what they did. And real quick, though, West Branch ball. Lobster, we ain't an East Coast state. Well, you're not a college football state either, apparently, when it comes down to it. So, what?
Nothing. It's the tone.
Is it the
factual.
tone? Is it the tone or the facts?
That's factual.
Is it the tone? Hey, I got a new response. Is it the tone or the content?
Both.
It's the factual tone.
It's definitely the tone because the facts are right on.
Right.
Yeah.
But facts are mean.
Facts are mean. Yes. Oh, yeah. If you just say that, guys, facts are mean. Here are the facts.
Should I go that way?
I think maybe you should. Maybe that eases the blow.
Maybe we will, but not today. All right. Wrapping up the poll, by the way, same old Michigan or same old Wolverines? Same old Wolverines, 53%. We'll set that in stone, Westy. That's what we're doing. Sal. Same old Wolverines, because that's what they are. The Lions were not the same old Lions. They thrashed. They dominated. They destroyed the Chicago Bears yesterday, 41-10 at Ford Field. And I just look, you don't come back from 1-6 because it's not looking like they're going to make the playoffs. By the way, speaking of that, because after they dominated, I flipped the Sunday ticket right away to the Jets-Seahawks game. And all I hear about is big Mike White. And Mike White's back. And the Jets love playing for Mike White. And last week he had 400 yards. And this week he had 350 yards. The Mike White experience, all of it. He sucked. He sucked. The Jets stink. For all this talk about the New York Jets, hey, try scoring a touchdown. Run the touchdown play once. How about that, Mike White? How about get a touchdown? He's a bum. The Jets stink. They're no factor. The Lions have zipped past the Jets. We don't have to worry about the Jets because at some point you have to score in this game. But the Detroit Lions, they did score. That was a decimation, Terry. That was maybe the most complete Lions victory I can't even remember.
It was because they made a team quit.
They tapped them out.
Right, in the second half. Chicago couldn't, was confused, didn't know what to do, didn't know what plays to run. And there was a key play just before the half ended. Chicago wanted to turn it into a Big 12 game. So what they're going to do is they're going to have Justin Fields throw it to his tight end, and the tight end was going to pitch it back to him and try to get him in space, and hopefully they were going to score a touchdown there, and they wanted to turn it into a track meet. But there was no way that play could work because, first of all, the Lions rushed nobody. And then they had everybody in coverage, so Justin Fields is not going to run through 11 dudes with no blocking.
Right.
Well, he tried his best. I mean, over
But
100 yards in the
price.
first. I mean, he is like whatever he's got to develop in the passing and stuff like that is not a threat. But there's something about him that the gamer. And to me, the best thing, Terry. What did we talk about last week in the NFL? The up-down effect, right? So that only happens with real NFL teams. And that happened here. What did they do? They improved on everything that Dan Campbell had said. Sometimes, he came out last week, you get punched in the mouth, and it's true at the right time.
It was more than that. They had their manhood.
That's what I'm saying.
Them.
So even a young team, what are you going to come back? Because the way that they came back and answered, right, was something that's a real team. At the end of the day, that's a real team that believe. We're experiencing NFL team legitimate. Now, does it mean we make the playoffs? No, we got to count on Baker Mayfield and beat Green Bay, but big deal. It's moving forward. And what we did, like the discipline on defense, staying in the lanes. Obviously, the sacks and the plays by Hutch and Houston and all this, but the middle, Bugs, McNeil, everybody playing there. And it was something to see. And you guys nailed it. When you have the ability to make another professional athlete or a team shut it down, that is next level.
Yeah,
right.
That
you're developing something together. And the biggest thing, one of the things that I heard that Dan Campbell say coming out is these guys are liking each other more so like as a whole team, but they talk about things and he even reiterates is that his coach speak they're having when they're together. That's the development, and I think we saw it as far as that's as good of a game as the Detroit Lions have played in how long, Terry?
I can't remember.
50 years.
That's why I had to come and ask Terry.
No, they play games like this. But
a meaningful game like that.
Well, meaningful. They don't play meaningful.
Like at the point of the season where you have to win at home and everything else, and God bless Ford Field and the fans that stuck there and whatever like that, because to me, that home field advantage, that is something. And we play better at home. So moving forward, what does that say? That no matter what happens this year, I can accept it because moving forward, we got an NFL team.
Finally.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, D. Smitty, James Houston obliterated the left tackle and Fields at the same time. And you know what, real quick, how about James Houston, by the way? He sacked the quarterback. He made an offensive lineman sack his own quarterback. Like he made him do that. He didn't have a choice.
Was that something I noticed more is that, and I don't know if it was the game plan, but our defensive guys were shoving their offensive guys that way, not letting Fields get out, but pushing guys back in the way. Like I saw on the first Houston sack, Hutch sort of shoved the guy back into him too. It was just like their game plan. It looked a little bit different, but they looked fast, right?
They looked fast. But there's another thing, and I think this is the maturing of a team. There's more gap discipline. They weren't just running down trying to get Fields. There was one play.
Hutch did a lot better job of that this week. Yeah.
Hutch was like, "Okay, dude, you here? You're not getting around me." So he's like doing his little jab steps instead of just, if this was a few weeks ago, he would have run right by Fields.
Right.
But now they've seen game film, they've studied it, and now I think they're better because they have slowed down a little bit. Yeah, and James Houston one time when he killed Justin Fields, he ran out after him like his pants were on fire.
Yeah, when he tracked him down for that fumble too, you could just see, there's speed on this guy that it's above. It's like, and when you see the offense, Tyreek Hill, we saw it with Johnson from TCU the other day down the sidelines and stuff like that. It's like the athlete. This guy's just an athlete, just to hunt the quarterback, and that's Justin Fields too. And God, did they fold him up? And then Hutch gets the recovery. I mean, they're always around the ball. That's the whole thing. You talk all the time about the quarterbacks of Kirby Joseph being a ball hawk, but these two guys, I mean, wow.
How about Aiden Island? Third interception.
And you know what? And I didn't hear anybody discuss this, and I'm not like a Michigan person. Like, I'm more than willing to take a look and analyze the data and look at it. Aiden Hutchinson, in that football IQ, and he's done this more than one time, and we talked about this, D-Mac. I can't remember if Terry was on that show or not. What I love what he does, if a play goes away from him, how can I impact the play still? Not by just running across the line for the sake of running across the line. On his own, he will fall back into coverage. He's not supposed to be in the spots he's in when he's getting these interceptions.
Well,
he's not supposed to be there.
They're putting him in the right spots, but he's
putting himself
the thing
in
is
the
his
right
adjustments, right? Because we've seen him make mistakes. You're just talking about it, over pursuance, but the intelligence, and we call it the hockey IQ, but the football IQ is to develop and improve on that. So we see that firsthand. He's got 3 interceptions. I mean, what a smart play. Don't rush the quarterback because they knew what they had to do. I mean, it was unfortunate. That was a bit of old behavior to allow a punt guy take 7 yards out of the end zone back inside your 40 to give an opportunity of maybe scoring. But they shut it down. They did what they needed to do.
By the way, on that too, how about that formation by the Lions?
Brilliant.
At the end of it was brilliant.
Because they knew what they needed to do, and they said that, and you sort of had an inkling of Fields. Just when you saw that throwing it to Pringle, he didn't know Hutchinson was there.
Yeah,
you don't expect him. You're sort of like, he's probably wondering when he's throwing. It's like, okay, where's Hutchinson going to hit me from behind now? And
for those of you that missed it, the Lions rushed 1. There was about 7 seconds left at the end of the first half.
I don't even think they rushed 1.
No.
They rushed
they
1.
had 1 on the line.
Yeah.
And they pulled him back in coverage.
And even he fell back into coverage. They lined 1 man up, and that was it. Because there were 7 seconds left, the Bears had no time. I've been clamoring for this forever.
Taking away the stakes because they needed, about 10 yards for a field goal?
But if they go to the middle of the field, they can't kick one.
No.
It doesn't matter. And I'm telling you guys this, and this is you.
Isn't that good clock management?
Is your mind blown by the draft of Brad Holmes last year? Judging by Twitter and the tweet I sent out yesterday, yes, a lot of people's minds were blown by the draft. Wait till you see this become the norm in the NFL. I'm telling you guys, this will become the standard of play with under 10 seconds to go and no timeouts in the National Football League. They won't rush anybody. Why?
And you keep everyone on the sidelines.
Everyone's on the sidelines.
Because if you complete a pass, all you got to do is tackle the dude. Tackle's done. Let's go.
Absolutely. I mean, you can sit there and beg for a targeting call like Michigan fans would at the end, I guess. But, but then again, you're always begging for it.
I love these comments like, oh, it was a no-brainer. It was this, there's
Nobody
no such thing as a no-brainer. You still got to do it. Like, how many times? Like, so to me, I put the check mark next to good coaching decisions, adjustments being positive.
That's going to change. That's going to change the way
copycat league.
You can't say it was a no-brainer because nobody does it.
Right, that's what I mean. Right. You have to do it first.
So it must be a brainer.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
Michigan's defense did that, but it was during the game.
The Lions did a brainer. Wow, that's oxymoron.
No, it was. Hey, wintertime in Detroit, it's always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf, the Cajun chicken Alfredo as well. What about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. You know it. Stop by your local Big Boy for winter comfort foods today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotion. So when you go out to see Michigan in the national championship, you'll be nice and tanned up when you're out there in Los Angeles. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations. More on the way. Go to ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Chili Pepper Tan.
Yay, yay. Back out of here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl. Terry Foster. Go to woodwardsports.com. Check out his recent musings. He has some thoughts about Michigan's and their fans and their attitudes.
I heard a rumor.
Yes.
I heard a rumor that our very own Sam Flannel, legend, killed the article. Is that true, Sam? Did you take offense to Terry Foster's article? And is it true or not? Did you say it could have been the worst article ever written?
No, I did not.
You didn't say that?
I did not take offense to that one. There was one that you wrote, Terry, about Cade McNamara that I thought was subpar.
Oh, the one where I said that they turned their back on a Michigan man?
It's an meritocracy, Terry. J.J. McCarthy won the job. Who cares? Like, it's not a feelings game. And I respect the hell out of you, Terry. You're the best writer we have here, but that one wasn't your best work. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Meet the new quarterback. Same as the old quarterback.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
They're 2-3 in the last 2 years in real games.
Okay, but in the final 3 games of last year, Cade McNamara, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. In the final 3 games of this year, J.J. McCarthy, 8 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Talking about it.
Okay, then why are we bringing it up?
Because I just wanted you to get worked up so I could say we're done talking about it.
Because it's his show. That's what we do.
100%. Anyway, talking
how many
Detroit
pick
Lions.
sixes did McNamara throw?
He threw 2 picks in the Georgia game. They just weren't returned for 6.
Oh, they weren't?
No.
No.
So did Max
Did
Duggan.
they win that Georgia game?
No, they did not.
Did JJ win the TCU game?
He put up 45
you can just
points.
Guess and say no.
45 points versus
Go with the
11.
odds.
Yeah. Go with the odds and say no. Anyway, you're taking it, but you all are taking this, by the way. You all are.
Yep.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread on there. Gromit0237. We're talking Lions Bears, by the way. It was Chicago at home, slow your roll. But Gromit, it's never been like this. And that is an NFL football team that, believe it or not, was recently pretty hot at covering the number. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're the Bears and all that. But we have never seen the Lions take the manhood of a team and destroy them physically. Again, James Houston made an offensive lineman sack his own quarterback. It doesn't get more dominant than that play. It doesn't for me. And Terry, I knew that's what people were going to go to, and that's fair. You can't dispute that. It was the Chicago Bears, but we haven't seen it like this. Not like this.
And in previous administrations, these were games the Lions would lose. They beat somebody on the road. All you got to do is win one game to get into the playoffs. You're at home against a 4-win Tampa team or something like that, and they just turn around and lose. They don't grab somebody by the neck and choke them out. That's what they did with the Bears yesterday. I think this is something significant. Now, of course, it's all null and void if they go to Green Bay and lose. Then you're going to go, well, they can't. They're not an outdoor team. They can't win the big one. This was maybe not a big game, but it was a statement game.
Yeah, and for me, you know what, too? And it'll be interesting to see because I think that if I'm NBC for Sunday Night Football, I'm taking Packers-Lions, but it's got nothing to do with the Lions. It's the fact that no matter what happens with Seattle, Aaron Rodgers is winning in.
Oh, absolutely. Isn't he the MVP of the league? Isn't it at Lambeau? Doesn't it play up to everything that we want? It should be, and I hope. And did anybody check? Has anybody checked what the weather's supposed to be like?
It's January in Green Bay. I'm sure it's going to be cold.
I get it, but it's also supposed to be 60 degrees here tomorrow. So I'm just saying, does that make a difference if it's even around freezing, right? Because we're expecting a January in Green Bay to be
30 degrees. But 20, that's balmy for Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, though. But the moral of the story is like, for me, you know what NBC's going to – you know what game they're going to take. If Aaron Rodgers is winning in, which he will be no matter what Seattle does, you know the NBC execs are just under the table. You know, they're fired up about that. They're excited. They're going to take it. My thing is, like, for me, if Seattle does win, all I care about is the Lions. And if I'm running it, I'll go around the room and say, whoever doesn't want to play, don't play. Because I don't care. I don't care about the Packers. I don't care about the integrity. I care about this franchise and where they're at right now. I'm not putting my people at risk for no reason. Because it's for no reason. I know you're a competitor, D-Mac. I know players are competitors. But
nah, you're wrong. You're wrong because you're building something, and this is your rivalry in your division that you can take your young team that you have. If you have an older team, Neal, then we could talk. If you had the 2002 Red Wings, more of a Hall of Fame team, but the young team, because they need to be put in the mixer right now, and they're excited. Are you kidding me? You're going to tell them, hey, I don't want you to play this weekend, or I don't want you to play this weekend, the biggest game, because you can affect Green Bay's playoff.
I don't care about that, though.
You can have a winning record.
But you do, because
you got
this
9
goes
months
to the
heal.
future. This goes to owning the division. This goes to what you can do and set yourself up for moving forward. And plus, any chance to go into Green Bay and play and win a game there and screw the Packers? Yeah, everybody. That's what the Lions, that's what you want. So regardless, maybe Baker Mayfield can pull something out with the Rams. Maybe they can do that.
It goes back to that. And hey,
but at the end of the day, it's irrelevant. These guys. This is what they all play for. Because think about it at 1-6, right? And you're fighting all year round, and you're not going to play in the biggest game sort of your year. So the fact that they're younger, Neal, I think I could. If they had older guys and veteran like stuff like this, if this was Pittsburgh and you had like a T.J. Watt or you had something like this, it might be a conversation.
I think what the Lions have gone through, if Dan Campbell were to tell somebody, I'm holding you out, I know you're fine, but I'm holding you out, he might get squared up on. Somebody would say, oh, really? I'm playing.
Well, anybody, but I don't think they square up on him because he's ready to square up back.
No,
but
it was just a little thought that popped in my
head.
head.
I think that is a future, right? That is a couple years from now when these young guys, the Amon-Ra St. Brown's got 5 years in the league, and if he's suffering from injuries, or the Jameson Williams and stuff like that, which was nice the other day to see him get involved in something that looked like a Jalen Waddle or Miami play, give him some run in an open space. But I think no, because this can build so much for the future.
I might do it if everybody was 31, 32 years old.
That's fair.
But
that's fair.
I would leave it up to
them, but
they're babies out there.
Yeah, no, it was just something that popped in my head that I thought about because NBC is just gonna drink up all the Aaron Rodgers they can. They are.
All they care about is Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, and the smirky little Aaron Rodgers interview at the end of the game. That's all they care about.
Yeah,
so let them have it.
Giovanni says it was a cool play by J-Mo. He would have scored if he followed his blockers better and didn't cut outside. I mean, the Rari. The Rari was getting out on the lodge.
Just let him go, dude. Yeah. Exactly.
You can't criticize him for that because there's so many people around him. and the whole field was changing like every half second.
No,
so you can't figure that.
I'll tell you, low key, who's done a great job and is a tough dude, little dude, is that Khalif Raymond. You know, whether it's in the special teams or just making some catches in tough areas. He's not the biggest dude, but man, he'll stick his nose in there, and you know that's why you're getting all these guys that are starting to, I don't want to call them overachievers, but hit more of a ceiling and get the opportunity. So it's cool to see.
Paul Thomas says, all I kept yelling when JMO was running is, do not get hurt. I kind of got that vibe a little bit, too.
I got that vibe, too.
But he's fine. He's
Absolutely.
fine, everybody.
You got it. You're right, exactly. And I think it's just going to be that way for a bit.
Treat him like a China doll.
Absolutely.
You're either in the league or you're not.
What about, too, on that JMO play? Who's down there 30 yards down the field
Goff.
leading the way? No,
No, it was Jared Goff.
Penei Sewell, but Goff, no, did you see that Goff? And a small flex because I saw somebody go, I love this Detroit team because late in the fourth when Jamal Williams ran for his longest rush, like 59 yards in his career, you saw Goff running down the sideline out of the game. And said, like those things are real, Neal. Like they are real. You're invested in your guys, and I think that's so much to the culture of what has been established. But these guys play hard for each other and want their success. You listen to Jamal Williams talk about DeAndre Swift. And again, when he's healthy, when he's like that, oh my God. Joystick or what?
Someone tweeted at me, and I absolutely agree with this. How come Jared Goff doesn't run as fast when he has the football as he did on that play?
Well, Terry, let me just tell you, some guys when they get the ball or the puck on their stick, they slow down. So that's why you don't get it on your stick.
Right.
Some people just don't have the Rari V12 in
Some
them,
people just aren't. No, exactly.
I didn't mean to bring up old wounds.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Mike G says, Michigan had a very bad day at the office, both on the field and on the sideline. Terrible play calling early, but still proud of Michigan as the premier program in the Big Ten. Go Blue. Hey, get that T-shirt, Mike G. Wear it today. Wear it tomorrow. Let's talk about those Big Ten championships, shall we? Especially in the playoff era, because you know that's what it's about. You know it is. You know that college football fans across the nation said, yeah, you know, Harbaugh lost again, and they never win a big game, and they've won a half a national championship since, World War times. But, man, you got to respect that Big Ten championship they got this year. That win over Ohio State, all that was so big after Ohio State choked in the playoff too. And when are we going to ask, how did the Big Ten, this year's Big Ten, end up with two teams in the playoff? How? Why? Based on what?
You know why.
Why?
Because when Michigan Ohio State played, the highest rated game ever. That's why.
Cool.
You agree with that?
Oh, just huge stakes, too. Two premier teams that have shown that they rise up.
They're solid ball clubs.
They're very fine ball clubs.
Sure.
They're very fine college football teams. Right, Sam Flannel?
I mean, the Big Ten championship to me matters. I
know it does. To Michigan fans, it does because it's all you got.
At Ohio State, that does matter for the first time since 2000. But at some point, you got to take the next step, and they had a golden opportunity, and they didn't do it. It was a colossal failure on the biggest stage.
Well, I guess it happens next year, according to JJ.
Golden
I can't even think about
in
next
a
year.
down year.
If I were you, I would just
year.
go to a commercial break right now.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
And you know what? Coincidentally, Swiss Insurance is the read, and that's my read. With the new year here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles. In the last 2 weeks, Swiss has saved its clients an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while increasing coverage. That's a lot of money to free up for the new year. Happy New Year from Swiss Insurance, and go Lions.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The third annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Meyer Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families. families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway Minute. And yes, the holidays have come and gone. But you know what? This is something that we can get behind for the wintertime. You know, we can go outside in the winter. It's a wild idea, I know, but downtown, they're hooking it all up at the Monroe Street Midway. They got the Arctic Arcade, they got the Arctic Slide, the puck putt, all that kind of stuff. Food choices out there, heated tents, all of it. Guys, we've been begging for this for years, for an opportunity to go outside in the wintertime, and the Monroe Street Midway provides that. You can shop, eat, play. You can do it all downtown. It's big time, guys. Get on down there to Monroe Street Midway and enjoy wintertime. I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around it, too. But we can absolutely do it. The Monroe Street Midway, get down there. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com. Get all the information. It's Monroe Street Midway in downtown Detroit. Coming up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Westy, Alex Westfall as well. And we've been bouncing back and forth. It's a two-topic show, guys. It's the disaster in the desert. It's the same old Wolverines showing themselves yet again. And it's the Detroit Lions pivoting from the same old Lions. They took a team's manhood on Sunday at Ford Field. They dragged them to the mat, and as Terry Foster said, they tapped out. And it was a performance that I haven't seen. They drew a line in the sand, certainly after the Carolina thing. And things aren't looking good as far as the playoffs go. You never want to be in a position where your hopes ride on Baker Mayfield. That'd be like having all your hopes on Michigan in a college football playoff to win.
Here we go.
Except with a little higher chance of success, with Baker Mayfield than Michigan. Is that fair? Oh, wait a minute. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And this is Darren McCarty is working with me on this one. Mike G. Negativity is great for content, but I'm still proud to be a Michigan Wolverine. If you reset and look at this, it's Michigan as a transformative program here now and in the future. New year, new me. What you're telling me is hope, Mike G. You hope that. What I'm telling you is facts. And facts can be mean, oftentimes. New year, new me. So this isn't tone. You're telling me what your hopes and dreams are. I'm telling you what we have data on and what has happened. So you can think that. Check that. You can hope for that. But that is not reality. What is reality is when Michigan is in a big spot, in an environment they can't control, when it's not in Ann Arbor, they get cooked.
Well, it's well said, Neal. Well
Michigan
said.
is the premier program in the Big Ten right now.
And that's cool. Premier program in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The Big Ten is a fine conference.
It is a fine conference. And they have, they pulled the snow over everybody's eyes and all that stuff with their media deals and all the stuff they're going to do. That's great. The bottom line is, you don't pack the gear to deal with college football's elite. And we have data on it. And if that makes you angry, I'm sorry, because as we said, facts are often mean.
No, Mike, you are absolutely correct. Neal is never on the U of M bandwagon. And you say negativity,
What bandwagon?
He says he said you were never on the U of M bandwagon that I'm thinking that he's on and other Michigan people are on. So he says you have no stake in the team, just negativity. Mike says negativity. You say facts, right? They're both mean. Negativity and facts are mean. So I mean, you agree to disagree.
But they are different. Facts and negativity are different. Facts are true.
So, and you're being factual, and it's tough. It hurts. It hurts if you love something as much as the Michigan fans, and I know guys like Mike G love Michigan because it's so disappointing. But when does it change, right? Same old Wolverines. Now we've been going all year. Is it the same old lines? Is it not? Is it this? Is it not?
Michigan doesn't need to change. Here's why.
And Terry, hold on. You're 1,000% right. And I'm going to let you go to give the reasoning. You're 1,000% right. That's what bothers me. And we covered this before. And I said this to Sam Flannel. The thing that bothers me is I expect more from your program than you do. Proceed. Thank you.
That's not winning at the highest level.
They don't need to change. They got 110,000 in the stadium, no matter what. Even if you have Brady
11 times a year, however many home games they play.
Hey, even if you have Brady Hoke as the coach, they're still showing up. They're getting all this money, and they tell each other we're the greatest in the land. And it doesn't matter if the rest of the nation said, no, you're not, but they all believe that. And then you're so fanatical that you create things that are not there and state them as facts. So they don't need to change.
And you were right. And that's Darren.
I think you nailed it. I expect more.
That's where my divide is with the Michigan fan base. That's where my divide
I
is.
think the big thing is that if you just ask me, is that winning? And I'd say, no, that's not winning.
What do you know about winning?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was told.
I don't know.
But they still have the mentality of
some rings and stuff.
Hey, let's beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten.
And get cooked in the Rose Bowl.
Don't care. We good. But when you get cooked in the Rose Bowl, you make up an excuse of why you lost, and then everybody's like, bam, yeah, we still Michigan. We still number one.
Right.
We didn't really lose
you gotta
it.
love this. Negativity and facts are great for. This is Mike G. Woodward Sports. Keep it up, boys. That's what we thought. I respect the facts and candor. Don't get me wrong. Can't we just agree on one thing? Chesty Malone is great.
And that's fair.
And that is fair.
See, that's
we
why
all
I do
agree,
give
Mike. That's
G
what we're
credit.
talking about.
I do give Mike G and I bump heads about the Michigan.
Mike G
but we're in lockstep
Mike
about
G
most of it.
is a Woodward Sports Network disciple. So he's
But you know
his
what?
opinion.
Even Chesty Malone went beyond the University of Michigan football. She had the best titties in Detroit. So she's like, okay, that's good.
She took them
but
worldwide.
Now I'm going to go to Iowa. I'm going to go to Illinois. I'm going to go to Indiana.
What would Chesty Malone think about this Michigan? She's bigger than that. That's not winning, right?
She is bigger than that in more than one way.
There you go.
But she would say, fellas, let's travel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Let's win a national title.
Right. Joseph Austin, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neal looks so soft. He must play golf. Hey, Joseph, look, I said this last hour, and I'll restate it.
I play golf.
To you. Yeah. And I'll restate it to you as well. If you want to project to feel better about the fact that your college football team that you proclaim is great is actually mid, especially in the big moments.
Come on.
Especially in the biggest moments. If you want to project on me, I'll do it. I'm here for you guys.
Sam,
I have
not
broad shoulders.
not Big Ten mid, just nationally mid.
I understand that, but they are Big Ten great. You're acting
Yeah,
like
but you're acting like the
you're
Big Ten's
nationally
greater
mid.
than it is, and it's not.
Yeah, you're nationally mid.
But Neal, you're acting like I shouldn't give a damn about a 13-0 regular season where you win at Ohio State and beat Michigan State.
If Alabama were undefeated this year and they lost to TCU and they won the SEC, what would their fan base be saying?
They would say that it's a disappointment,
What
obviously.
would Georgia's fan base be saying?
That it was a disappointment. I'm not saying that it's not a disappointment. I'm just saying that 13-0, it's not like you're acting like I should think that it's the same as going 5-7 like Michigan State did. I'm still proud that they won the Big Ten.
There you go.
I'm still
again.
proud that they
Get
beat
to
the
the next
rivals.
level
I
if
know
you're that great of a team.
I know that, but I am not.
Great job getting in Ohio State.
Okay.
We won't take that away from you. You finally did it. That's awesome, Sam. But what we're saying is the expectations to be better than what you expect out of yourself.
I agree with that. We can agree with that. This was a terrible, disappointing loss. They could have vanquished a lot if they would have won against TCU and had a chance in the national championship. I'm just not going to act like the Ohio State game and the 13-0 and the Big Ten championship didn't happen. That's all I'm saying. It matters. It's not a complete and utter colossal failure. The way it ended absolutely was a failure.
Okay.
Agree?
Do you have your Big Ten championship T-shirt?
I actually got my father-in-law one for Christmas.
Are you going to get one?
Probably.
You are?
So what?
Are you?
It's a big deal.
Okay, we'll wear it to the show.
I can't. I have a uniform.
Well, you can wear it under. Get that maize and blue flannel you had on the other day and wear it under that. Okay?
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
Can you do that?
Probably
You can wear it underneath your shirt.
Yeah. Come on, Sam Flannel. It's a big moment. You just told me. Why wouldn't you get a T-shirt?
I don't know.
I have a 1991 Detroit Lions division championship hat that I still wear. I wore it yesterday.
And yet you're going to give me crap if I wear a Michigan Big Ten championship. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? It was a great year that just ended in such a terrible fashion.
But
At least
not
they
a
weren't
great year.
Okay, but they run the Big Ten. That's a step.
Cool.
I get it.
Okay, see, again, we just have a fundamental difference.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm just a big old loser because I want Michigan because I'm happy that Michigan won the Big Ten. That's like
No, you want to be Big Ten good. You don't want to be nationally good.
I want to be nationally great, but I'm not going to act like this whole season
But
didn't
you never
count.
gonna expect it.
I expect it next year.
Oh,
hey, I do. Hey, you can't go to the college football playoff twice and lose in the first round every time. By the next year.
That was going to be disappointing. Didn't we have this conversation? Unless they won that playoff game, then we'd say it'd be a success because you improved on it. So it is a disappointment. Because,
of course.
Yes, the positive is you can win at Ohio State and do that, and you won the Big Ten back-to-back. That's awesome. But in the bigger scheme of things, because what I was told by Jim Harbaugh, too, is that these are our goals, here,
Yep.
and you don't eclipse it, then that's not good enough because of the expectations, because you're supposed to be.
Yeah, they choked away a golden opportunity. They did.
Number 3 team in the country.
There's some messaging here about Sam Flannel, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Cody says, Sam, the Big Ten had 2 good teams this season. Stop it, clown.
Clown. You guys are acting like I should just completely disregard everything. Like if you're not first, you're completely last. We might as well have been 3-9 then. Is that what you guys are saying?
Football playoff. You are last if you're not first.
Okay, and that was terrible. It was terrible
Those are the
loss.
stakes.
It's a terrible
if you don't
loss.
want it, then don't go.
I do want it.
No, you don't. You much rather would have went to the Rose Bowl.
No, I would. Oh, stop it.
This
That's
year,
bull.
The way this
That's
went out,
bull.
would you rather be playing in the Rose Bowl today against
No,
Utah?
obviously
Yes, you
not.
would.
No, stop it.
No, because they would lose to Utah, and that'd be even more embarrassing.
Would you rather have a Rose Bowl victory or have what happened yesterday be the end of the season?
What happened yesterday? You got to get to the dance. You got to get to the dance.
What do you guys think?
They had a
Deep
chance to
down
win
in
a
his
natty.
heart, what do you think he thinks?
Rose Bowl. Harbaugh needs a bowl winner.
Those were the thoughts of Darren McCarty, not
Damn.
Neal Ruhl, and then he walked it off. So good for him. Good for Darren McCarty. No, we are going to get back into this Lions discussion. There was only one. I don't want to say negative. There's one question mark from the game yesterday, which I want to get into when we come back after I tell you about Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that's always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training, and all this is yours for just $10 a month. Join today in club. I'm going to pass a couple on the way home. I'll pass one when I pull out of here from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. There's one right there, right off 696. Or jump online, planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac.
Got a new shirt.
I bought it for Sam.
Darren McCarty,
Is it
Sam
his size?
Flannel. We got Westy Alex Westfall here in the house. Stick on site. We are at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Maybe you saw their commercial, by the way, yesterday or on New Year's Eve. If you didn't turn the channel and discussed during the Michigan game, you would have saw the Feldman Chevrolet Malcolm Rodriguez commercial. Hey. So that was actually pretty cool to see. But DMAC made a change to the wardrobe. He has his University of Michigan playoff semifinal participant sweatshirt on. So, fans of the teams that participated but did not win, they got sweatshirts like this.
You know what I should say? Back-to-back.
Back-to-back participants. Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a marker.
Right.
Give me a marker. I'll put it in.
Or how about the back-to-back losers?
Yeah. Which got us to thinking about T-shirts, right? Westy, you got a T-shirt for me. I haven't seen this yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing this. What do we have? Fiesta Bowl champs, University of Michigan. So those are.
They're on their way to.
They're on their way to Africa or something.
Honduras.
That's what would have gone up on the Woodward Sports store. Had a win.
Oh, so you guys.
So we got TCU ones now.
No.
Oh.
You. I'm sorry.
So now they're going to the Congo.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So there you go. You guys missed out on the opportunity.
That was going to be our T-shirt.
That was going to be the T-shirt. It was going to be.
Shout out to Roman for the design.
Well, why don't you just change it to Big Ten and send it back out there?
Or how about Fiesta Bowl participant?
Right. Absolutely. Fiesta Bowl runner-up. Yeah. Fiesta Bowl runner-up, maybe.
Both teams played hard.
Yeah, for sure.
96 total points.
Yeah. Pretty strong showings, too. 84 points allowed in those two playoff appearances? By the number one defense in the nation, I was told.
Number one Nobody said
How
that.
does that
Nobody said that. They said number one defense in the Big Ten. We all know Georgia's. Come on. No, don't
Wait a
put
minute.
words in my mouth.
What number did you associate scoring defense-wise?
They were fifth.
Fifth in the nation.
Yes. Not great.
Well, to be fair, J.J. McCarthy plays offense and gave up 12 of those points.
That's fair. So they only
But
gave
he wasn't bad yesterday. That's what I was told.
He wasn't.
Oh.
He was great in the second half when they needed to score
He was
points.
really great for TCU.
Hey, Max Duggan threw 2 picks too.
Right, yeah. But see, the difference was his picks hit the receiver in the chest.
Oh, stop. They didn't.
Did it not?
One of them did. That's true. Hit him in the chest and
still behind him.
Okay.
He had butter tits.
Well,
man.
he'll have an opportunity to do it again. Lions, again, dominant win over the Bears. So there was one thing that, for me, is a question, and I want to run this by T-Foss in particular, the media veteran of Woodward Sports. Jeff Okudah, and no one's really talking about it, kind of got lost in the wash a little bit. Jeff Okudah got benched again.
There's something going on there. Because I actually thought he was playing decent,
yeah,
and then he wasn't. And then he started getting benched. Now, there's a couple things going on. He's either hiding an injury or
there's been a falling out?
Yeah, there's been a falling out, and he's just bad.
Could it be that there's some sort of coach-player dynamic? And I'm asking. I don't know. I'm asking.
That's
I
always
think
a possibility.
all of these could be up for grabs, right?
Right.
If I'm going to lean one way, and maybe it's a bias, I think that he's not 100% healthy. But it's also, too, as you look at the way, he's got some improvement to do. The bottom line, though, I know he was a former first-round pick and third overall and stuff, but the way the defense played yesterday, you don't need him. You got other guys making plays, so it's the best available guy.
One, this is not our guy because we didn't draft him. Or when Aubrey Pleasant was fired, maybe part of the Aubrey present, let's get rid of him, was not only schematic, but he wasn't getting along with Jeff Okudah. So now the new coaches that are behind, he got a fresh start, and maybe the stuff that Pleasant saw, they're seeing it too, and they're like, okay, this ain't working out.
And I'm curious to get the people's thoughts, too. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, get in there yesterday. Steve Lehman says Campbell addressed at his press conference after the game. Some players let something slide early in the game, and they were on the sidelines real quick. They know who they are.
Wait a minute. And you know what? I talked about the soft lines against Carolina. Jeff Okudah may have been the softest.
Maybe. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Certainly they're talking about that. Here's another question, too. Todd Farkman, how much are we paying Jeff Okudah? Well, Todd, it's interesting you brought that up because I had that ready to rock because I knew that question was coming. Next year, he is, to keep him, he's a $10.6 million cap hit. If you release him, it's a $5.5 million dead cap penalty, so you would save $5 million-ish on the cap if you dumped him. Food for thought. You think so?
I think right now it is. But you look at the development of some of the other guys, right? You look at the, obviously the Kirby Josephs, who else is, guys are coming back from injury. So, I mean, the bottom line is Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes are going to put the best roster together. So, I mean, there you go, Neal. You're the salary cap draft capital guy. Is that, you're probably leaning towards keeping that $5 million for somebody else.
Well, and here's the deal too, right? And somebody asked about this. Robert says, Neal and Terry, so with performance from Jamal and Swift, how do you find a way to keep back the same backfield for 2023? And so here's the deal. And I pose this question to a lot of the people around Woodward, kind of our water cooler, which water cooler at Woodward means old fashions and bourbon. But, same concept. And we kick this around, and I ask people, and I'll ask you guys, and you can just fire away on the chat thread, with Williams being a free agent, what does that look like to you? And I heard people talking reckless, like $7 million a year and stuff like that. I'm not prepared to go there, but I'll give you this: if you dump Okudah, and that can give you a real nice base to re-sign Jamal Williams, are you for it?
Those are the questions, and obviously that you're asking, but that's where you're leaning towards, right? How it would work out and how it would benefit you and how people would understand, okay, we're going to move on from him in order to keep this guy.
2 weeks ago, I would have said no. But now I'm seeing more production out of him between the 20s, and you need your running back to carry the load there. Yes, you want him to score touchdowns in there, but you still want to be able to have an effective running game between the 20s. So I think now I'm leaning towards trying to keep him and making him my number one guy.
Rustin Burke says, get it right, Neal and T. Foss are both clowns. So there's that.
Tell us why.
That's what I would want to know. Well, Derek tries to give an explanation. He says, I think you guys are mad because Neal is right and nobody can reverse his claim. And that's, again, new year, new me. No tone, just let you know that facts are often mean.
Facts are mean. I need a shirt.
Hat tip Sean Belizean, by the way. He's the one that made that one prominent, and that's my guy. So, Flocka Waka, Neal, would you be fine with drafting Bijan to replace Jamal? No, because I'm not interested in using the kind of capital it's going to take on a running back to take him, because he is going to be a first-round pick. Because, with all apologies to Blake Corum, Bijan Robinson was the best running back in America this year. I know that doesn't fit the narrative and all the cute things that you guys are into. I know it doesn't, but that is the case. So, it's one of those things. Rich Diana says Williams is money. Keep him. Robert says, Neal, by the way, go Air Force. I'm more Army, usually.
He had his Army gear. He looked good in too.
Absolutely. And they won a big game.
They got the over.
Yep. And they beat Navy. They won a big game. So that is that. And Todd Farkman says running backs don't last long. And Todd, that's my reserve, right? With the whole Jamal Williams discussion. When you start discussing him, and look, D-Mac, the clock's got one more game left.
Absolutely.
And the clock is over.
It's the oven clock, right? So we got to wait till it. But here's the one thing, too, and it was brought up in the chat thread, is Nate Woodward. Jamal is more than just that running back scoring those touchdowns. He's a leader in that locker room. They look to him.
And that's your department.
That's my department. So you know what? I would expect. So that's a caveat with what you're building and what this team's building, and he's probably one that Dan Campbell goes to. So I would think they're going to try to find a way, and if Okudah is the casualty of it, that's what's going to happen. What would you rather do? Re-sign Okudah at $10 million right now, or Jamal at $7 million, get rid of that so it's actually only $2 million, right?
Yeah,
that's how you're looking at it.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like, I'm going to give you guys.
And then it makes sense, doesn't it? Because I give him $7 million if it's affordable, but he's worth $2 million in the locker room.
Yeah, just for me, man, like, he's a $3 million a year guy right now. I'm not, Terry, are you doubling this guy? More than double? You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, he had a good season, but see, like, if you do that though, Terry, you're doing everything that you guys have told me you hated. You're paying somebody for stuff they've done in the past.
But they've done it for my team. There's a difference. And the other thing, he is a hype man. He's so productive. And I mean, it's not like you're paying him $20 million a year or something ridiculous like that. It's $7 million if you go that deep. But when you bring in a new guy, he can't be your hype guy. Jamal Williams is a guy that not only gets the team fired up, but he believes in it. It's not BS. He's not doing it for his health. So with that said, that can get the rest of the team all pumped up for a game. And maybe you need him for a game or two where the team is a little bit flat going into a game, but he's got them all revved up. And, this has been my guy here for 3 years. He's still excited, so I'm ready to go.
And that's fair. Robert says, but Neal, Army didn't win the Commander-in-Chief trophy. Well, I'll just put a Michigan spin on it and say, well, of the armed forces that are based on the ground and the water, they were the best. They couldn't beat the ones that are in the air, so that's good enough for me.
Okay, there you go. You know what's good enough for me, for you, for everybody else? It's Alta, because that Alta uptime matters. Alta equipment is everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project coming up, Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our Lumberjack, Blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Ooh, the Fulling Warehouse. If you are, enjoying the nice little weather and you want to do something that you can get outdoors and activity-wise, well, the Fulling Warehouse, it feels like you're outside. It's nice, it's heated, and you got all the room for activities that you can handle. The Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Go there, take advantage of that $2 mystery beer machine. And one thing I love about it, you can bring your own food. And, the Fulling Warehouse, make sure you go there. Fulling Warehouse, your place to get your full on.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty. Our guy, Ryan Poulter, the sales manager here at Feldman Chevrolet, will join us in just a couple of minutes. We'll get you caught up real quick on the picks. You know how when you look at the standings and there's those little X's and Y's? Well, after the events of this weekend, Wes, you good to go with the info we need? All right, cool. After the events of this weekend for the Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em Cup, as we come down to the final week of the season, there is a Y next to one Darren McCarty. He has locked this thing up as we welcome in our guy, Ryan Poulter, Director of Sales here at Feldman Chevrolet. Ryan, appreciate you tapping in and joining the show here. Behind the strength of a 2-1 week, Ryan, Darren McCarty.
Finish strong, baby. Finish strong.
Has locked this thing up.
I want to formally congratulate D-Mac.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
On the win, on the W. And your trophy is on its way.
I appreciate that. You know what? Because you, my friend, have, some influence in this victory.
Yeah.
If you remember early on in the season, your mouth might have got a little bit bigger than your bet size. And I, myself, like maybe some other people over there, are sort of used to being told why I can't do things instead of why I can. So I make it a point of things I want to do, shoving it so far up other people's, wares that make me fun. So I will not do that with the trophy. I appreciate that, but thank you for the utmost motivation. You two are really, really tough. I had to dig really deep.
Neal was
You know what,
tough.
Neal?
Terry
You got
was
caught
tough.
with you were told.
I
right?
did.
You were told. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't have the Get Right special, Neal. I had the Feldman, Ryan Poulter, and T-Foss. I just can't say. I'm just so proud that, to best you that's why the trophy will be going up there.
I am just thrilled as a ghetto child from the west side of Detroit to be able to compete with a Get Right specialist like Neal, and to be able to say that if Darren McCarty sees me in the streets, he could look at me and tell me my first name. I'd be thrilled about that.
Hell yeah.
Ryan, we have your picks for the week here. Westy will pull those
I
up.
got a big question for Ryan. Only you'll know the answer to this. Where's Braylon Edwards?
Is he on his way to the national title game? That's what I was told.
No, why you got to bring that up?
Well, we're going to get your thoughts on that in just a minute, though. We'll go over your picks real quick first, though. You had a 1-2 week. You won with the Cleveland Browns. Great pick, by the way. I was apprehensive. Not so good with the New York Jets. It's tough to cover as a favorite when you score 6 points in a game with that bum.
How do you
Mike White.
how do you feel about Mike White?
He's a bum.
He's a bum.
Is he?
He's a bum. Everybody had this hype behind him because, obviously what their quarterback situation's been. And then you're getting all this hype. You come out there and you do that.
He's a bum.
I mean, that is just pathetic.
Well, the Jets are largely pathetic.
Oh, yeah, for
and they've
sure.
been largely pathetic.
Yeah.
I
We
keep
were
hearing
nervous
about
about
it.
that game.
Yeah.
Well,
Ryan, remember how we heard about the Jets all season long and how great they were and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, well, when it matters, they score 6 points.
Yeah, and everybody in Detroit's rooting for him. But hey, let's go Detroit Rams this weekend.
Detroit Rams, absolutely. I had an 0-3 week because I was told there was no way Michigan would lose that game. I was just going by what I was told.
How does it feel to have my type of week?
Well, here's the thing. I did it to prove a point, though, and I was told.
He's never wrong. Neal is never wrong.
I was told
he's always doing it to prove points.
Well, Ryan, I was told Ohio State stinks, and that they're awful. So Georgia's obviously the play, right? So I took Georgia too. That one lost, and I'll admit, no, I was wrong about the Bears. I thought the Bears would run the football and stay in the game. The Lions absolutely obliterated them. So I went 1-3. I went 0-3. T-Foss was 0-3 as well. He had Tennessee on Thursday night. He had Houston, which I didn't know what you were doing with that, but whatever. And you had the Colts plus the 5.5. I did like that one, but it didn't work out.
Those things happen.
Those things happen. Darren McCarty, by the way, locked things up. He had a 2-1 week. He has been riding the Detroit Lions. He has taken the Lions 1, 2, 3,
Many
4,
weeks.
5, 6, 7. 7 weeks in a row.
And only lost once.
And he's 6-1. And he rode the Detroit Lions to victory.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So he is the champion.
That's pretty
That's
strong.
it. Hey, you know what? 4 cups.
He deserves it.
Whole bunch of wrestling belts. And this trophy will go right up there.
What do you think gets valued more? This trophy that you're going to win or your Michigan football playoff semifinal participant sweatshirt?
You know what?
It means a lot.
It does. It was a gift. And you know what? I'm going to say the trophy just because I'm Canadian and I'm a fan of all Michigan sports. I'm that guy that everybody hates.
So now you have a little trophy there. You can put your Stanley Cup rings in it.
There you go. There you go.
The trophy is most likely going to be a ring or a belt where we've been working on the graphics.
I thought, you mean it's not the 2023 Corvette that's in there? I thought I was walking in this morning and I was like.
You were told it was a Corvette.
Well, I was told it was some sort of vet. Chevette, Corvette, whatever.
A convertible Camaro over there? That's going to have to survive.
Or a Vietnam Corvette. A model Corvette. But hey,
whatever works.
You know what? Listen, at least D-Mac won. I mean, how would it be if Neal won? Let's just. I mean, he'd be.
Neal doesn't, unless there's money on the line, he doesn't really care, right? That's why the Get Right.
Well, I was told, Ryan.
He's a bragger.
Again, I was told, so I just did what the people told me to do, and I paid the price for it. I would suggest I was 25-19-1. T-Foss was 26-17-2, so I was like a win behind him, and then D-Mac was 30-15. And you tried really hard and got your picks in on time every week.
I would just like to focus on the beginning half.
Ryan, real quick though, being serious for a little bit. You're a big Michigan fan. Huge Michigan fan. Your thoughts on the game, and I'm being for real here. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, my thought is if I would have been watching the full game at home, they might have won. I wasn't in my normal spot, which hurts. I was here, stuck late, selling cars, which is what it is. But when I sat there and I saw them go for that, you come out, you do what you're on script. First play, right? Run that ball, you get into the red zone. You're right on the goal line. J.J. McCarthy dances around, gets to the 2-yard line, and then all of a sudden on 4th down, you're going for it, which I like. I like the call to go for it, but I think to run a Philly special on 4th down that you haven't done anything like that all season. And if you're going to run a Philly special, at least give it to Donovan Edwards, who can throw the ball.
Right.
I mean, was his right arm the one that was cast, or was it his left?
I don't remember.
Because he's a right-handed thrower. I mean, he's a quarterback at West Bloomfield High School, right? So he's throwing the ball in the pass. At least give it to him if it was his right arm that wasn't cast, and let him do it. Don't give it to your tight end who does that. I mean, that set the tone. It's just like when the Lions were playing Carolina Panthers and that fumble happened inside 10 yards. I looked at my dad and I said, that's the game. I looked at that play. I said, that's the game.
But the difference was Michigan did it to themselves.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the refs sucked, but you can't take a game where you lost by that many points, which is a small margin. Obviously, it's a one-possession game, where you had 2 goal line possessions. One maybe shouldn't have been a goal line possession because it should have been a touchdown, but the other one should have been, and say that you completely blame the refs. But, I mean, the refs did stink. We can all say that. But at the end of the day, it was Jim Harbaugh. Then you get down to the fourth quarter, right? Fourth quarter, you were inside about 6.5 minutes, right? And you're burning clock. You are literally burning clock. Your offense isn't getting up to the ball, hiking the ball, doing all that stuff. You're burning 25, 30 seconds each play to a point where Jim Harbaugh's dad stands up. They go to him, and he says, what are you doing? And then you get on defense, right? And you're not burning your timeouts. You're letting them burn the clock down to a point where when you get the ball back.
You know what? And no one talked about that. And I kind of thought the same thing. And I get where they're going. I mean, theoretically, there's no difference. But there is a difference to me. Once that time goes off the clock, you can never get it back. That time is your currency.
100%.
That's your line to survive in the game.
100%.
I'm kind of with you. I would have once every second goes off the clock, it's not coming back.
No.
I'm not giving it away.
You know what I thought about when they were doing that? The Wizard of Oz. When Dorothy, the witch turns that time clock up and says, and all the Santa's going out, this is your life right here going out of that. I'm like, Michigan's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, right hand
cast, yeah.
And but so it was right. So that's why they didn't run the play with him. But still, I mean, to give your turn, and then he's not even smart enough to throw the ball away.
Right.
So you're running a play with someone who's, I don't know if he's been a quarterback in the past, but who's never been a quarterback, that you've never done all season. Just pound the ball up the middle. Just stick to the script. Set the tone, and then let's see what happens, right? But back to the time. If you think about it, right, that last drive they had, they were rushing to the line. No one was getting set. They were hiking the ball before. They were offsides. They were fumbling hikes, all that stuff. If you have more time on the clock with that drive right there, you might be able to take a little more time, get everybody set. But you didn't burn your timeouts early enough, so you let your offense, when they're out there with 6 minutes left and you're about to score a touchdown, you let them burn the clock for TCU, and then when TCU gets the ball back, you let TCU burn the clock.
And that's another example, Ryan, too, where they brought that on themselves. Now, TCU did that all game long, just like the pace of the game, right? The way that they would have a 3-yard rush, and boom, they run up to the line, and they're running the play. Like, you could feel it watching
Michigan
the
huddled.
game.
When has Michigan huddled all season? I mean, when did they huddle? They didn't. They're to the line. They're a to the line guy. They're a to the line guy, and that's one of our drivers. That's one of our drivers. You want to get on? You want to get on?
I thought that was your dad telling you you're messing up.
They're a to the line team, and speed and space, right? I mean, that's what they've always done. Yes, they're running the ball, but it's also a speed game. And now all of a sudden you're huddling. It was just weird. It reminded me of Jim Harbaugh in a big game.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, we'll get your picks again next week.
What are we doing this week?
What's that?
Because obviously D-Max already won. What are we doing? We got to do something special, something different.
We got to do a presentation.
Worry about my trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got. I mean, something's got to be up for grabs.
Let me know. Kick some ideas around and let me know.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
Why don't we let the chat figure it out?
Yeah.
See if they can come up with something. Yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah. Give us something that'll be on the line for next week's picks, the final walk-off picks. Lay it on the line, absolutely. Now, Ryan, we appreciate you sliding through for sure. Hey, New Year, same Feldman Chevrolet, though, right?
Same Feldman dealership. We want to be the number one dealership in the nation this year, so starts from the
Michigan's
beginning.
not. See, regionally is not enough for you.
No.
You want to be the best in the nation.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I admire that.
And the only way to do that is to start early. Right, so we're not going to be on the goal line and fumble. We're going to have customers come in. We're going to sell them cars.
And he's a Michigan fan right there saying that. So.
Yeah.
No, Ryan, we appreciate you, man.
At least the Lions won, or else my weekend just would have been. I'd be drinking whiskey in here today.
We'll catch you on Friday, my friend.
We'll see you guys.
All right,
go
that
find
is
Braylon.
Ryan. He's going to look for Braylon Edwards right now. Ryan Palter, sales director here at Feldman Chevrolet. Let me talk to you about the sports marketing agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's about fighting the stigma concerned with seeking help. If you're struggling, go to thesportsma.com. If someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Catch. Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Neal Ruhl here for Bedrock Detroit, and downtown Detroit's all decked out this holiday season and winter season as well with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has the giant slide, winter bumper cars, and indoor arcade, plus you can get drinks at the Lodge with Terry Foster before or after games. Book Terry Foster for your own private event in downtown Detroit at Monroe Street Midway. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with deckedoutdetroit.com.
Bourbon required.
Yeah, bourbon required. T-Foss will be down there looking for Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni and Tom Mazaway because
they ain't here.
Because I guess we're looking for him. No, to be fair, Ryan Ermanni's on vacation.
Yeah.
But the rest aren't. But anyway, hey, I can't control that show. I can only control this show. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Welcome back to Big D Energy. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty. We got Stick here on site. We got Westy also. If you're watching for the first time today, I know a lot of you are maybe tapping in for the first time. We appreciate you jumping in for that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Wes, Neal, I need to know if you're rooting for a Rams loss to get a better draft pick or for the Rams to win so we can make the playoffs. Wes, I've been consistent about this. If you're mathematically alive to get in the playoffs, get in the playoffs. So, yes, I would be rooting for a Rams victory. However, as someone else asked, and they asked you this too, T-Foss, will you be wearing your Detroit Rams shirt this weekend?
I will not. I don't root for teams, first of all. But if something is to happen, you'd rather see the Lions make the playoffs than get a better draft pick.
Absolutely.
Because this is a young team that needs that experience.
Absolutely.
At some point, you got to see what you can do with the big boys in a really competitive situation.
Yeah, I absolutely root for teams, and I don't understand why we can't lean on Maz, right, to have his boy Baker Mayfield win us a game.
Well,
this will be the one game.
We can ask him about that today on their show.
No, we can't.
We can't.
Oh, why?
They're
going to LA.
I'll ask them tomorrow when I'm in the office.
Stick, are they going to be live on site from Los Angeles for the Michigan championship game?
You can't put me in these positions, bro.
Oh, they're not?
I have no comment.
Oh,
I love
okay.
everybody that works at Woodward Sports.
I was told that Michigan's a lock to go to the national championship. I was told that. They're playing a Big 12 team, for Christ's sake.
I mean, I think they would have gotten there with Cade McNamara being quarterback. That's all I know.
Oh, man.
That's all I know. And I'm willing to debate that with anybody. Because I can have that debate. That's what's
you know me, I don't really care. But the fact that I can have that debate and drive somebody insane, like Sam Flannel, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. I almost had him imploding this morning when I was talking about how successful Cade McNamara could have been. But
let's
never know.
Just sticking jabs right in this.
Have they already played the Cheez-It Bowl?
They did.
Oh, they did. Okay,
they did.
I thought maybe Braylon would be there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're going to try to do what they did to Cade McNamara to Jared Goff here, and I just won't stand it.
Yep.
When the guy's winning, you don't have to change.
Jake Wegener says, Neal called for the tanks when the teams were statistically eliminated before they are mathematically eliminated. And, Jake, you are right. When they were 1-6, I know, Jake, you were the one in the streets, though, right, that said, oh, they're not dead yet, right? You were that one. See, the difference is I'll wear it. This is where I'm different than, like, Michigan fans and stuff like that. But, yeah, hey, I was wrong about that. They were still – come to find out they were still alive.
Yeah.
What a big man you are.
Yeah,
but let's talk about the Lions. Can we just talk about the Lions? I mean, we've had fun poking at Michigan. You guys have for 2 hours, but let's talk about these Detroit Lions.
No, and that's where the thing is, too. And somebody brought this up earlier, and I'm curious to get your guys' take on this. And this was a question I had about this regime. Dan Campbell with the Jeff Okudah thing and Dan Campbell with the Aubrey Pleasant thing has shown that he will make the tough call.
It's his team.
I love that.
It's his team, him and Brad, and they say it all along. But, yeah, no, is that because here's the thing, Neal. What are the results of his actions? Aubrey Pleasant gets fired, this team starts winning. Kuda got benched or whatever like this, the team win. So the decisions he's making doesn't take away from the goals at hand. It's not hurting the team. So right now, those are the decisions that you trust in him.
I think the Pleasant decision was tough. Jeff Okudah benching him is not, because as a coach, you are expected to put the best lineup out there week after week, and if somebody's not doing it, it's not like Jeff Okudah is a Pro Bowl cornerback. He hasn't proven himself in this league, so that's an easy decision. If he's not being tough, if he's not doing his thing, then see ya.
Right, and WoodwardSports.com chat thread, question for me in here. Detroit Lions Talk Chat Sports says, do they trade Okudah in the offseason? The question for Neal Ruhl. To who? For what? What are you giving me for Jeff Okudah?
4th rounder. You can get a 4th rounder for him.
Stick.
You can.
Stick. If you take him, you're paying him almost $11 million next year.
I was told rookie deals were good.
Yeah, until they're not a rookie deal. They are good when they're under a rookie deal. That's not the rookie deal.
That's the thing. When you take
baggage goes with them.
When you take a cornerback 3rd overall, that's the salary space they're in by the 4th year of the deal. Like
it's tough with Jeff Okudah because you saw the flash in the pan, right? He had a couple games where he was coming up, filling holes, he was tackling hard. It was like, oh man, they got this guy back. And I don't know if he's still injured, if he tweaked something.
The most poignant thing about that is Terry nailed it. He's not their guy. They could try to work in to be their guy.
Well, they didn't
but
draft
it doesn't
him,
look
right. So he was never their guy to begin with. You were just
and then
hoping.
that means something.
It does. It does.
And bringing it up where you said I was told about rookie deals, but here's the yin to that yang though. Stick is you caught him and you save $5-ish million in cap space for next year.
What does that take? I mean, 2024 they have already like $90 million on the books.
115, but they got to sign the 2
now?
rookie classes.
Okay.
Yeah, so by the time it's all said and done, it'd be $90-ish million.
Brad
See
Holmes.
what I'm saying though?
Brad Holmes.
When we come back from the break though, and I have a question.
I might give Brad Holmes my trophy.
Yeah, well, I have a question that I proposed on Twitter yesterday that got a lot of traction. So I'm going to ask it to the people as well. But I have a question here that got asked. Honolulu Blue Sparty. Neal, would you rather Lions win 1 Super Bowl in the next 5 years but miss the playoffs the other 4, or win 5 division titles and lose in the NFC Championship every year? You know my answer to that. I want it all. I expect to win. I want a Super Bowl. I don't care. It's not good enough for me to win, to win a conference and be dominant in a conference and get cooked when it matters. That's not good enough for me. It's good enough for some of you.
And do you think the L.A. Rams are really that upset with this season because they got the Super Bowl? Now, if they made the conference championship game and lost, they'd be pissed about this year. But you got the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. How about you, D-Mac? Where do you stand on that one?
As far as
would you rather win the division every year and lose in the NFC Championship game, or would you rather win a Super Bowl
the way
and
that,
miss the playoffs every other year?
That I was built and the guys around me that are champions, it took us to get there to learn what we needed to do to win. So I'm gonna take my chances at the 4 conference whatever like this, and hopefully I'm not gonna repeat being what Buffalo Bills did. But if that's the case, then so be it, because that's winning. And keep putting it there and try to get there. No, the other things, like that's the difference between winning and not winning. That's the difference between what you want for your team, and that's the mentality that I wish the Michigan fans would take. And that's what you, at the end of the day, because it's holding accountability of getting better. So I could go through the disappointment. You're going to go through it, but that's the only way you can get to the glory land.
Give me the ring, because it's something you
can never take away.
Can never take away, and that's an experience that's once in a lifetime.
Oh, is the question to go to the conference finals 4 times and not win?
And not win a Super Bowl, and win a Super Bowl and miss the playoffs
every other year?
Oh, you got to take the ring. Yes, of course. I mean, no, it's always the ring, because you did it. You did something that nobody else can do, that everybody's, and it shows you how hard it is, because that's reality. So what do you say, Aaron Rodgers is good
and
now?
This was a town that was upset with the Pistons for making 6 Eastern Conference Finals.
Idiots.
Right. They didn't like this team. They were pissed at them.
Wings.
I'm like,
are you telling me they didn't buy Eastern Conference?
No.
Eastern Conference Championship participant T-shirts every year?
They did not.
Look at the Wings, 25 straight years. Playoffs, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to win a ring in the haircut game,
come to Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win $200,000. Yes, I said $200K for your dream home. Yes, $200,000. Again, get into Lady Jane's, register. Lady Jane's haircuts for rent, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The 3rd annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Myers Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Woodward Sports would like to welcome Matrix Home Solution as one of our partners. And these guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking at redoing that basement into a man cave, this is the place that you need to go to. They got an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau. They do baths. They do cabinets. Matrix Home Solutions. Plus, we're going to be doing a live broadcast out there, and you're going to have a chance to win a brand new, I think it's going to be about $20,000 in a brand new basement refurbished.
Damn.
All you got to do is be able to sink a putt. 50-foot putt.
Are employees eligible?
Employees are not eligible, but all three shows will be out there.
When are we doing that? I've been quit the day before.
It's coming up, I believe, on the 27th of this
I
month.
might take a holiday that day.
The 27th of this month, we will be
Holiday.
out at Matrix Home Solution. If you want a new basement, bath, or cabinets, give them a call today, 888-594-8844.
Give Mr. Anderson a call.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live at Feldman Chevrolet here in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty here with you. We got Stick on site. Westy, appreciate y'all's effort, especially on a holiday. For you guys to come out here and do all this stuff, it really does say a lot about you and your character. We have breaking Woodward Sports news today. Spencer Raxter sent me a text. He will be making his final word debut today. You will never see me again. So he will be hosting Ermanni Edwards with Maz without Ermanni Edwards and Maz from 2 to 4 today. So Spenmo Rax, Sam Flannel will be stepping up as well to carry the mail. Ermanni's Edwards and Maz without Ermanni Edwards and Maz. So there is that. Yeah, man. Just kind of wrapping up the show. This show ran itself today. Appreciate all you guys tapping in on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jason McWilliams says, hearing the NFLPA is going after Carolina about their field conditions. I don't know. It's Carolina. They don't have a field warmer because it's Carolina, and it's never that cold. I'm tired of hearing about that.
Well, I think they should get to more consistency.
Yeah,
but you know what? It gets cold in Carolina, and they need to be held accountable.
Mark Walston says you guys are overblowing the Okuda deal. Are we? Man got benched.
We'll find out.
And
you got
here's
twice.
the thing. We'll find out if it's a big deal or a little deal. If it's just a little like, hey, you know what? You're not doing what we're saying, and I get back to work. We'll work on it in practice, or it's bigger than that. Wait and see.
Yeah.
How are we overblowing a starting cornerback not playing, getting benched?
$11 million guy next year.
And they start him and say, "Oh, you ain't good enough. Get the hell out of here." How's that overblowing it?
Right.
We tired of seeing you play today. Bye. That's overblown.
An $11 million player next year.
Right.
And hey, I know it's not about the money, but yes, it is about the money. That's the way that it works. Rack on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Is today a grievance day for Ryan and Braylon? I don't know.
Holiday.
Yeah, it is a holiday though.
Holiday.
Lots of questions too, and we can get to this tomorrow. A lot of people talking about DJ Chark and what do you do? And look, these questions, guys, if this doesn't work out and the Lions don't go to the playoffs, on Monday's show, we dive into these things. Like, this is all this stuff, the Jamal Williams, the Chark, the Okuda, these are prominent questions next Monday, like in 7 days.
Soon.
That things move quickly, guys. They do. And
Neal's
we are
not
going to talk
confident
about
we're
it.
making the playoffs. That's what he just told you. We're talking about this next Monday.
Yeah. I'm not confident putting all my existence into Baker Mayfield. Maz loves him.
Oh, did I tell you what Maz Millen told me before the season?
No, what did Maz Millen tell you?
He said, here's what the Lions need to do. Get rid of Jared Goff and bring in, Mike White?
And Baker Mayfield?
No, he's
Mike White. He moved on. He was off of Mayfield.
Well, no, he told me that they should bring in White from the Jets.
Okay. Yeah, he was so great yesterday. So
I'm like, anything you say, pal.
Yep, that is true. So, yep, that's what it is. MPWMU, Spencer's going to leave Woodward Sports to finish his Mormon mission in Nairobi. So there is that as well.
What did we learn today?
That's where the Michigan Championship shirts are going, Nairobi.
So he's taking them with him.
Yeah.
He's taking them over there.
And
you know what did we learn today? 2023, Neal Ruhl has turned over a new leaf.
I have.
But still, facts can be mean.
Facts can be mean. That's how we're going to qualify everything. Big shout out to everybody here at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. Our guy Ryan Palter as well for jumping on air. Remember, too, it's 2023. It's a new year. But it's the same Feldman Chevrolet, so get on out here.
I'm going to drive my car off the lot for
Absolutely.
winning.
D-Mac, I think, won a convertible Camaro? Or
something like that. No, I went the Corvette.
Wow. Okay, that's what it was.
I had to pay the upgrade.
There you go. Trophy. So, for T-Foss, for D-Mac, for Westy, for Stick, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.